Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I am Barbara. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Today in this video, I'm going to talk about doing a soil test and the importance of that. I have not talked about that on this channel. I have been doing them, but I haven't talked about it. So I thought there'd be a great opportunity because this time, because y'all know, I'm always doing something new. This time I'm doing it a little bit of a different way and I want to share it with you. So if you have not done a soil test, you've never done one, you don't know why it's important and all that, stay tuned. And then also on this video, we're going to be planting our pollinator patch. That's right, our pollinator patch. So if you're interested in that, let's go. So on this footage that I shot a couple of days ago, you saw me going through the in-ground garden collecting samples. So I collected 5 samples of dirt for my soil test. So let's talk a little bit about why you want to do a soil test and how often you want to do one. So it's very important for you to do a soil test if you're regularly growing and you want to plant, for the season. And I try to do mine each year, annually. I don't do it before every season like fall and summer, but I do it right before the summer garden. So this will be my 3rd time doing a soil test, and I'm doing it in the in the in-ground garden space. Now, I have not done a soil test like in my raised beds because that's soil that I brought in. Could I? Yeah, I could. But I don't go through the effort of doing that. Not that you can't. I just haven't done that. I just usually do it in my in-ground garden space. But the reason why it's important is because you want to know soil health is so important to you properly and effectively and efficiently growing food. It's all about soil health, just like our health in our bodies, right? Our health dictates how fast we can move, how fast we recover from sickness, just all the things, right? And so it's the same thing with soil health, is making sure your soil is as healthy as possible. And you're not necessarily, when you feed and fertilize, you're not necessarily feeding and fertilizing the plants, you're feeding the soil, is what you want to do, right? Because the more healthy the soil, the better your plants are going to be. But in order for you to know how to help work with nature, you have to know what your soil has in it and what it's missing. And so that's the purpose of the soil test. It's going to give you a breakdown of what is lacking in your soil. So it's going to look for the nitrogen, the phosphorus, the potassium, the calcium, and all the things, right? And it's going to give you results to show you, hey, this soil is lacking this, so that you may need to amend your soil with X, Y, and Z. So when we talk about amending our soil after each season, basically, think about the word amend. It's to change, right? It's to change. And so when we go into amend the soil, we're adding in ingredients to change the soil health, to change the soil structure. So if my soil is low in potassium, then I may go in and I add blood meal, and that's going to increase the potassium. That's me amending the soil, right? And think about, as you grow plants throughout your season, the plants are uptaking nutrients. So like some plants are very heavy nitrogen feeders, like your tomatoes and your corn. They feed a lot off nitrogen. They need a lot of nitrogen to survive, right? Your root crops need a lot of phosphorus in order to develop root systems, right? And so as they're using and uptaking those nutrients, then the soil is left kind of like depleted. And so you want to put nutrients back into the soil. That's why we always, as we're switching out beds and we're planting new stuff, that's why we continue to add compost or organic matter like worm castings, because we want to put nutrients back in the soil because the nutrients have been depleted from the plants, right? So in terms of the soil test, I've done it twice, and I have done it through my co-op extension office. And if you're in the country in a rural area, I'm sure that you have one. You can look it up, and you can go to your co-op extension office and they will give you a soil testing kit. Now at mine, they give you like a little box about, you know, yay high, yay big. It almost looks like a Chinese to-go container is what it looks like. And they give you the instructions to get at least 5 to 7 soil samples. So you want to go like 6 inches in the ground. So you saw me doing that on the previous footage, and you want to get it from 5 to 7 different places, right? You don't want to just dig in one place and count that as your soil sample. You want to get a good representation of the soil that you're going to be planting in. Also, when I've gone to the extension office before, it has asked me, hey, what do you intend to plant? Is this for vegetables? Is this for flowers? Is this for herbs? Is it for grain? That kind of thing. So you can mark, hey, I plan to plant corn in this space, or I plan to plant tomatoes and just broccoli in this place. So it'll give you some additional detail that, okay, your soil overall looks like this, but if you're going to plant tomatoes, you need extra of this, this, and this, right? So I thought I brought it down here. I'm sorry I didn't. So I was going to show you a printout from my previous soil test, but basically you get a printout, and mine is the University of Tennessee agricultural system or whatever. You get the box from the extension office, you put it in the soil in there, you mail it off, and then it takes probably about 2 to 3 weeks, and then you can go online and print off your report, and it's going to give you like the values. So it'll say something like the nitrogen acceptable values are between, let's say, 1 and 5. Yours is at a 2, you know, add such and such, and it'll give you some, you know, some things to add. So that's kind of what it looks like. It's about 3 or 4 pages, but this time I'm doing something new. Same concept, but I'm doing something new, and I wanted to introduce it to you. So this is called My Soil Test Kit. And I bought this off of Amazon. If you are interested, I will put the link down below. And it's the same type of setup, except with this, it came with everything that I needed in here, and I can mail this off, I can register it, and I'll have my results in like 6 days online. And it gives you specific recommendations of what to add to your soil depending on what you're deficient in. So I love the fact that I can get my results sooner because I'm a little behind. I should have already done this because y'all, you know, I'm about to plant like in the next few days, right? And I've already amended my soil, right? So I should have already done it, but you know, life be lifing and things are busy. So I didn't get a chance to do it, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it, and then whatever it says, I will just have to amend from the top, meaning it won't already be in there, but I can just add to, but at least I'll know, because the knowledge is what you want. You want to know what you're deficient in. And so it'll tell you on the side what all it tests. So it tests your pH, your nitrogen. So that way, you know, on the pH, you know if it's alkaline soil or acidic. It tests phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, iron, manganese, boron, copper, zinc, and sodium. So some of those trace minerals it's going to check as well. So it comes in a nice little handy kit. So let me open it up for you. It comes with a little thing that you can send it back in. Here is the little thing where you can register. So I can go online and register my kit, and then it tells you how to collect your soil sample. And so again, the same thing, it says collect from 5 to 7 separate locations within your desired testing area. And then you're going to place the soil in the My Soil box. And then it came with this. Now see, this is different. So with the extension office, I just put the dirt in that little Chinese looking to-go container and mailed it off. So this has some solution in it. I don't know. It just says do not remove contents, just add soil. Right? So that's what we're going to do. And I don't know what the solution is, but it says place the soil in the My Soil box, clean basket or bucket, composite the collected soil by mixing thoroughly and breaking up any large chunks. So basically, here's my soil here. I've kind of put it in a 2.5 inch cut. You can see like this here, like that's a rock. We'll take that out. But you want your soil to be kind of fine and broken up as much as possible, right? So I'm kind of take some of these pieces of grass out. And obviously I don't need this much, but I had it in this first, and I mixed it up and then put it in here. So that way it was kind of all combined, right? Okay. And then it says, Using the provided scoop, collect 1 level scoop of the mixed soil and add it to the jar. So it came with a little scoop. I like that. So it says collect 1 level scoop of the mixed soil and add it to the jar containing DI water and nutrient absorbing capsule. Tightly secure the lid. Do not dump the water out of the jar. And it says mail your sample within 1 day of adding soil to the jar. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to take it down to my mailbox, put the little thing up so they can come and get it tomorrow. So let us get 1 level scoop. And I'm going to try to get some more of these rocks out here. So you want to do the same thing. Now, can you go to the extension office? You can. I just like this because I like the fact that it's electronic. I can register. I like the fact that my results are going to be there quicker than 2 weeks, especially since I'm behind. It says it only takes 6 days. And then the recommendations. I saw this on another YouTuber's channel, and I decided to buy it and try it. And then I figure since it's electronic, it'll always be there, and I can always kind of go back and get it. So we have our little level scoop, and we are going to add it to this. So you can see it has that little thing in there. So we're going to secure the lid tightly. And there we have it. Just like that. Okay. So now, and I like the fact, already postage paid for. Oh, in terms of you want to know how much this was $29.99. Which again, so for the using the co-op extension office, it's not free. I think it's $25 if I'm not mistaken. So this is only like $4 more, but it came with a prepackaged label. It came with a little thing. I can literally just drive this on down to my mailbox, and okay, it is on there tight. Okay, so we'll put this in here. And it's going to Washington State is where, I guess, who makes this, or whatever. It has a little thing, so I don't have to lick it or anything like that. We just seal it. Let me just make sure before I seal it up. It says mail your sample within 1 day of adding soil to the jar. Place the jar in the provided postage paid envelope. Place the envelope in your mailbox or anywhere USPS shipments are accepted. You'll receive email notifications of sample progress over the next 6 days if you have registered your sample. So I like that. It says if you register, you'll be notified via email when your results are ready, and you can log in and all of that. And then it says we'll give you recommended products to add to your soil at the directed rates and timing. So, y'all, I love technology. I love anything that is electronic, that is easy, that is efficient. So you can go to the co-op office, or you can just go buy this off Amazon. And again, it's not. I mean, I still paid $25 for the co-op, and then whatever it costs to ship it. So, I mean, it's the same amount of money. This to me is just quicker and easier. And a matter of fact, I may just get me some more of these, so that way I'll have them, or at least have one on hand, right? Okay, y'all. So it's ready to go, just like that. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm actually gonna go put this in my mailbox right now. Why? Y'all fill it in for me, because just in case I forget, I'm going to go put it in my mailbox now, put the flag up. I'm going to come right back at you, and we're going to plant our pollinator patch. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so I'm back from dropping off the soil sample. You know, sometimes you have to manage yourself. I always have to manage me. I know for me, people say I'm very organized. I am organized. I'm an executor. I get things done, but only because I write them down. If I don't write it down, it's not happening. It doesn't exist. It ain't in my memory. My memory is not good. But if I write it down or do it right then things happen. And so I know for me, had I not taken it then, I would have been out here a couple more hours until dark, go in the house. I would have forgot about that soil sample. It would have been out here until I came back out here again yesterday, which may be yesterday evening. I would have missed a whole day. So because I know how to manage me, I had to go ahead and take it right then. You got to manage yourself. You got to know who you are. Now, some of you are, you know, you got great memory. You're going to remember, you know, you got another system that works for you. But for me, it's like, get it done now or write it down. Otherwise, not happening. But anyway, I'm back in the tunnel, and you saw some footage of me planting the pollinator patch. So let me talk to you a little bit about that. My husband was weed eating, so it was a little noisy, so I just kind of time-lapsed it. But my pollinator patch, I've planted a whole raised bed full of flowers for two reasons. One, I absolutely love flowers. It brings me so much joy. I think I've said this before, that before I had kids, when my husband and I were first married, before kids, I would go get fresh flowers every single Friday to put in my house over the weekend and until the following week. Like, I bought fresh flowers every single week. Now, you know, when you have kids and, you know, crumb snatchers and they gotta eat and stuff, you know, that quickly is like a line item that kind of goes, you know, off to the wayside. Like, it's not necessary. But I still have flowers delivered to my house every single month. That was one of the best gifts my husband ever gave me. He knows how much I love flowers. And so he bought me a flower subscription about a year ago, for birthday, anniversary, Mother's Day. I don't know, one of the days. And that is like, I get fresh flowers delivered to my house every single month, a bouquet. It is amazing. Again, you have to know yourself. You have to know what makes you happy. And flowers make me happy. Flowers, candles, love all the things. So that's one reason why I'm planting flowers in my tunnel, is because I want to be able to walk in and see the beauty. I want to be able to see color other than a red tomato. I just want to see the beautiful flowers, and it brings me so much joy. The second reason is because I can put them on my in my house. So my flower subscription that I get once a month, those flowers usually last a couple of weeks, sometimes 2.5, which is pretty good. But then I can supplement this time of the year with flowers from my own garden. I actually harvested some snapdragons last week, and they are on my coffee table in my house. They are beautiful, beautiful. And every time I walk by, I'm just like, so much joy, so much joy. And the fact that I grew them, even more joy. So that's the second reason why I'm growing flowers. But the third reason, I said two, but it's really three. The third reason why I'm growing flowers is because it's really great if you're growing vegetables. It is great for your garden. So even if you're not a flower person like me and it doesn't do a thing for you, I still encourage you to plant some flowers in your garden so that the pollinators, you invite them to come over to your house. Invite the pollinators to come to your house and hang out a little bit. Do a little pollinating. Bring the bees, you know, bring all the things so that you can have great harvest and great crop, right? So it's important to have some level of flowers, and also they're great companion plants. Some flowers actually repel pests. Like if you're planting tomatoes, you want to make sure that you're planting marigolds. Marigolds and basil are great companion plants for tomatoes. Nasturtiums, I think they repel like flea beetles or something like that. So those are good to have, you know, in your garden. So it's just a plus for me because I already love flowers. And so because I love flowers and because I do have the space, I dedicate a whole raised bed 4x8 to nothing but flowers in my tunnel. I did that for the first time last year, and it brought me joy. I had flowers from my house, and it brought the pollinators into my tunnel. Right? They find it, y'all. They find the nectar. They find the stuff. They come and hang out, and you want to welcome them. You want to welcome them. Okay? So let me tell you what I planted. Let me show you and turn you around. Okay. So let's see. In the very back, I have marigolds that I planted. On the left-hand side, those are all zinnias. In the middle, let me show you that. In the middle are celosia, rainbow sherbet celosia. And then on the far right are asters, China asters, and it's the Sahara aster. So in this bed, I have marigolds, zinnias, celosia, and aster. I also have sunflowers in the ground at the end of my rows. I have sunflowers. I did that last year, and it's pretty. It's kind of like a backdrop of the tunnel. Again, brings me joy, but it also brings the pollinators as well. Last year, I also did a flower called Gumfrina. I didn't like the way it looked, so I didn't do that again. It didn't do anything for me. Nasturtiums, I'm not a big fan of nasturtiums, but they're really, really good for your garden. So that's why I keep growing them again and again. And y'all, I'm so excited because these flowers is in my tunnel. Outside of these marigolds that I just planted, I do have some marigolds from seed. All of these flowers I did from seed. All the zinnias, all the asters, all the celosia, all the nasturtiums, I did them from seed. So I didn't have to go pay money to do that. I bought extra marigolds just because marigolds are such a big hit in the garden, especially on my, on your tomato row. So I'll probably put, I have like 2 or 3 on the tomato rows in here. Outside, I'll probably put like 3 or 4. And so I bought some to supplement because my marigolds didn't germinate as much, right? So I think I may have, I don't know, maybe 20 marigolds or whatever. So I bought some to supplement. But other than that, all those flowers came from seed. So that is my pollinator patch. That's specifically nothing but flowers in this raised bed. I will also have flowers in the in-ground garden. I'll plant zinnias out there. I'll plant sunflowers. So there'll be flowers out there. There will also be flowers out in the back of my house as well. So everywhere I plant vegetables, I'm planting flowers. Here comes my husband with the weed eater again, but we ain't gonna stop a man from working, are we? No, we're not. So the other thing that I have left to do right now is to water everything in that I just planted. And then you probably saw there's a lettuce in that bed, because that bed that I just turned into flowers was all full of lettuce. I harvested all the lettuce. Let me show you the lettuce. Look at that. Do you see that? All of that is lettuce that I harvested from that bed where I just put the flowers. I need to give some of this lettuce away. There is no way I can eat this much lettuce in a week. So there's one lettuce in there that I didn't want to harvest. I'm actually going to transplant it into another lettuce bed because it's green and I like the green and the reds mixed together. But I didn't want to do it until I was ready to water. So I'm going to transplant that one now to a different bed and water everything in, because y'all, I didn't, fly, or bee. I didn't say at the beginning, but y'all, it is 80 degrees today. Somebody, anybody, can we say amen? So glad about it. It's hot. I'm sweating. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain because this is the first time in the forecast for the next 10 days. It is above 50 degrees at night. I can leave my tunnel open. I can leave these plants out here. It's all good. It is all good. So let me go transplant this and then water everything in. Okay, y'all, that's done. So we did our soil test, we planted our pollinator patch, and we watered all the stuff in. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this. If you have not done a soil test before, then I encourage you to download the link that I'm going to put down here below for the soil test. You can buy it off Amazon, $29.99, and you know what's in your soil, and in that way that you can treat it. But it's good to have the information to know. And the last I told you I've done it 2 years, and both years have been low in phosphorus. So I know that's something that I have to focus on. And then also in certain areas when I'm doing corn and tomatoes, I need extra nitrogen. So it'll be interesting to see what this soil test says, and if the soil has improved since last year. But either way, no matter what the results are, at least I'll have some recommendations on what to do and how to amend it and how to fix it. So thank you guys so much. I hope that wherever you are, the weather is turning around, that the snow is leaving, the rain is leaving, and that you have beautiful weather. It's supposed to rain most of the week here. It's like a 40 to 50% chance, but the temperature levels are high. It's like in the 80s, and at night it's in the high 50s, which is amazing. So wherever you are, happy planting. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.